Hey e-bike riders and enthusiasts, today I want to do a video I've been wanting to do for a while, but I've been waiting for the weather to get better. I want to talk to you guys about the different type of e-bikes I've owned and explain to you why you should get certain ones and why you shouldn't, depending on your situation. Keep in mind, mine are not in perfect condition any longer. They were at one point. All these guys right here were brand new to me at some point, except for the scooter and the little black bike, but those pretty much still work brand new. Yeah, I'm gonna start off with the newest type to me, a trike. This is my wife's Lectric XP trike right here. We've had it for like, I'd say about 2 weeks and a half or something like that. It was silver. It's now purple because she wanted it painted and stuff, and I put my classic duct tape rims in there. This thing is fun to drive. It takes a bit getting used to. Like, you gotta lean and stuff. I'm sorry about all the wind and everything. I can't do anything about that. And I brung these guys all out here today to tell you guys about them, because I want you guys to kind of understand the different pros and different cons of each bike type. This one here, like, kind of a thing that would be bad about this one would be that if you live in an area that has like a lot of things that go like this guy is not going to be what you want, because it's going to tip on you. It's going to tip on you bad, because how it is, trikes tip like that, and you're going to feel like you're going to fall over. I will say I have winged this thing around quite hard, and it has not even acted like it was going to tip or anything. But this is also a very slow bike. I'm sure there are faster trikes out there, but the Lectric XP trike is definitely like a slower type bike. It only goes top speed about 14. But yeah, it's a neat bike. It comes with the fenders. Everything you see on it pretty much comes with it. Besides, I think this was an upgrade right now because of the 4th of July sale. And then also, it's not purple, it's gray. It was gray and we got it. Pretty much all e-bikes are either gray or black. I don't know why they make them all just boring colors like that, but they do. But yeah, this bike here would be for someone that was like, you just want something easy going, go around town and stuff, you know, get some things done. Maybe you want a bike for winter and you ain't got very long of a commute to work, because I take my wife every day to work, and this thing took me about a half hour to drive there, and it's about 4 miles. So that might just be because our bike trails are bad and stuff, the way they have them set up. They're very confusing. But yeah, this thing's like more of a slower e-bike, definitely. I don't prefer riding this one. My wife likes it, and it's her bike, so to each their own. She likes this thing. I do like driving this thing. It is fun because it feels a lot like a car when you get in and when you get I'm saying in and out of it, on and off it. And it's also cool if you're like waiting at a stoplight, because you can like just go like this. If you're like coming this way down the sidewalk and then you got to go across, you can just do that, and then once the light turns green, you can just hit the throttle and go right across that way, if you're comfortable turning that hard and, like, you know, not thinking you're going to tip. But I can pretty much tell you, you're probably not going to tip with this thing. But like, what you want to do if you feel like you are going to tip is like lean the other direction that you feel like you're tipping, and then you're pretty much golden. But yeah, pretty cool trike. Now, performance e-bikes, which is what the Unirail I would consider. This is a performance e-bike. I would say if you're going to get an e-bike that you want to last, I would not get a performance e-bike, because I have owned a Hemingway Cruiser. It broke on me. I have owned a Ecotric Sport Cool, which is like kind of, I don't really know if that was a performance bike. I bought that used, so that ain't really fair. But my Hemingway Cruiser I bought brand new. This I bought brand new. This thing has been a nightmare. Like, some of the performance bikes too, if you're gonna buy a performance e-bike, make sure that you know how to fix it, because most bike shops will not touch these performance e-bikes with a 10-foot pole, and then some moped shops won't even. I cannot find a place to get the chain fixed on this. I finally got it removed yesterday, but I can't figure out any place that'll put the chain on. I tried to do it myself and wasted like $30. I'm not happy about that. But yeah, this is a performance e-bike, and I would say like one of the main cons of owning a bike like this is like bike shops probably aren't going to touch it. Its motor is probably not going to last as long as like a normal e-bike would. So keep that in mind as well. The motors on these are made to go fast, and the faster the motor is, the more it's going to damage itself and kind of like destroy itself, I guess, if you want to say. But yeah, and notice all my bikes do not have chains. I was not able to take care of them properly in the other places I've lived. I was not allowed to oil my chain or WD-40 my chain in my old apartment because the chemical smell, and it would have got me in trouble on my lease, so I wasn't allowed to do that. That place had a lot of stupid rules. But yeah, I also understand why. There's some people with medical conditions, you know, maybe they can't be breathing that or whatever. But yeah, I'd say one of the like main cons of owning a performance e-bike is like most bike shops are not going to touch it. You're probably going to get bothered by police a little bit more. Not around necessarily where I live, but I bet if you had this bike in California, you'd probably get bothered, or New York or someplace like that. You'd probably get bothered for driving this one. And keep in mind, mine has a ton of upgrades. You got the fender right here. This is off of a moped. I bought the fenders from Unirail itself. They're junk. Don't buy them. They snap and break. The only one that's still any good is the back one. I ripped off my wind blockers off of my moped. That's where that's from, and that's like an $80 Boss audio system radio, which is connected to a motorcycle battery, which is also connected to a light bar. Well, not in that order, but the light bar is also connected to the motorcycle battery. That these two things are connected to the motorcycle battery. Also with performance e-bikes, most of the time they're not going to have the best range. This one, however, does, because it's literally made to go far distances. But yeah, this is probably my longest range bike I own, and unfortunately that kind of sucks, because like I don't like this bike. This bike is sketchy because of all the things that have broken on it. It doesn't accelerate very good, like without the pedals. Like my Runner accelerates really good without the pedals. It accelerates very quickly. The truck, it used to, but I had to change the which it's not called the truck, it's called the Rad Runner, or Rad Wagon 4, and I'll get more into that one when we get over there to that one. But yeah, this is a Unirail, and if you're wondering what that is, that's my vanity license plate. It says "Kill Me" because I ride this in the road. I do not ride this on the sidewalk. I will not ride performance e-bikes on the sidewalk or in the bike lane or whatever, because I feel like these should be considered mopeds, and I do have a moped license. I don't like riding where, you know, it's more prone to people being on foot, or like, you know, someone being on a regular bike, or even like a little kid or something. I would rather ride a bike like this in the road, because I feel like this bike is fast. It goes almost 30, and I do not want it on a bike trail or anything like that. I don't feel like it belongs on there. I know it is a loud on there. Officer told me in my area, but I don't want to drive it on there. I will drive that one on there, this one, and those two, but I do not like driving this one on there unless I absolutely have to. If it's too windy and it's going to interfere with the speed of my bike and I don't feel like it's safe to be on the road, I will drive it on there, but I will like throttle it very like this, like just kind of flutter it, I guess. And that's another thing too. I'm gonna tell you pros and cons of a shifter, of a throttle like this. If you have thumb cramps, this throttle is awful. I hate this throttle. I never want another bike with a throttle like this again in my life. I used to like want one and wanted to try it, but no, I do not like that throttle. I like the twist throttles because you can control your speed a lot more, and you can crawl, if that makes sense. There's like a certain spot where you can get the bike where, like right here, it'll just like crawl kind of. I like to call it, and that's a really good way to get range out of bikes like that too. But yeah, this is just a video. I'm going to tell you guys like everything in my head about my e-bikes that I want to tell you guys, that now that I have them all out like this right now, and I can tell you guys about them because it's a pretty nice day today. Yeah, I'm just going to tell you guys everything and be honest about it. Like, I'm not getting paid by any of these companies. If any company does want to send me an e-bike, I would love to review it for you. Just keep in mind, I will be honest with it. Like, do not be a scummy company like this one, for instance, because I will call you out, because I did not like how the derailleur broke on that. And I have been to plenty of bike shops, and they told me that should not have broke like that. They said that they've seen Walmart bikes that the derailleurs don't break like that. And I was like, yeah, I know. That's what I told them. And then they want to charge me $50 for it. And it literally broke when I changed the tire. I took the tire off, and I took the bolt out of that and took it off. And next thing I know, I pick up the, I laid it in the grass, because I pulled over on the side of the road. It was real late at night. I laid it in the grass, and I got my tire back on the sidewalk, and I walked back over to the bike, and I get to my derailleur, and I put my derailleur on, and I'm about to put the bolt in, and it just goes, and the bottom part comes off, and I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? Brand new bike. I didn't have it a year, and the chain's already broke. All my other bikes have survived at least a year before anything like that happens, or their chains are broken. But yeah, I've had a lot of gripes and complaints about this bike. This bike has been something I love and I hate. I'm also gonna say a couple more things while that's on my mind. The charger on this e-bike, I hate the charger. I don't even want to charge the battery half the time, because you have to turn it a certain way to get it to charge, and I do not like chargers like that. I like the ones that are on my Rads, where you just plug it in and it does not matter which direction you plug it in. I don't know if that's a thing e-bikes are starting to do more now, because this one does have something like that. It's not nearly as picky as this one. This one is, I'll be sitting there and twisting it, and I'm like, dude, I know I already got to the point, and it won't go in. I'm like, dude, and I just do not like the charger on this bike. I do not like the charger. I do not like the throttle. I don't like the derailleur thing. I don't understand why there was even a derailleur. This is not a gear shifting bike. I don't understand why it needed a derailleur. Why not just make it a single speed bike? I don't know why they didn't just make it like BMX style or something. It is beyond me. I don't know, maybe they did it so it'd make it easier if you had to change the tire, if it had a flat. I don't know. There are no videos on that thing on the internet how to fix anything on it. The company has not made anything on me. Maybe they have now, or if they did not make it very prevalent that it was there. And I did look, and I was like, okay, how do I fix this? How do I fix this? And like, there's nothing. Like, this bike is just, I hate this thing, but at the same time I love it. It's my favorite bike. I think it's because of how fast it is in the radio and all that, because this one really feels like a motorcycle. It is my favorite bike, but I hate this bike with a burning passion. I hate this bike, and I kind of am like not really trustworthy of it. I don't know if I should take it on long rides anymore. It scares me. It doesn't seem like it's reliable, if that makes sense. I just don't, I don't know. I just don't trust this bike sometimes. But yeah, another cool thing about this bike, it's the first e-bike I've ever had that has titanium rims or whatever. Because usually they'll have spokes, and I'll make the spokes look fancy like I did on my wife's trike. But yeah, the Unirail is pretty cool. I've never seen a bike that does this with this right here, and this is the whole reason why the motorcycle battery is even able to be in there. But I do think more e-bike companies should do this, because this is a good place to like put things, I guess. You could like bungee cord. I mean, probably most people ain't gonna do something like that, but I do. But yeah, it's not a bad bike. Like, it is, but it isn't. I don't know. Like I said, I have a love-hate relationship with the Unirail. I hate it, but I also love it. and it's a toxic bike, I guess, but I love it. Okay, now we'll get over to my runner. I'll explain a little more about this thing. This is a Runner Plus. By the way, this isn't just a typical runner. This is a Rad Runner Plus. It was gray when I bought it, and I painted it blue with the silver stripe on it. My wife likes Shelby Cobras, and I kind of tried to make it look like a Shelby Cobra for her. And I mean, she doesn't even drive it. She should now, because I gave it to her. Because I got this one. But yeah. Another cool thing about the Runner too is there are, I think, other bikes like this. I think this is a small cargo bike, if I'm not wrong. I think this is considered a small cargo bike. But yeah. Oh, whoops, I got documents in there. I probably shouldn't show you guys what's in there. But yeah, this thing opens. It's got like a console in the middle of a car. I do put stuff in there a lot. I actually just bought a Hot Wheels 20 pack today and had it sticking up out of there with that open while I was driving it. But yeah, a lot of handlebar room. Something that's always really nice about e-bikes is when they have a lot of handlebar room. That's one thing I will give the Unirail a plus for. The Unirail had lots of handlebar room. I mean, like, look at all the accessories I got on this thing. Like, look at all this. Like, dude, the Unirail has a lot of handlebar room. This bike over here, it has quite a bit of real estate too. It's just, it's got the lock on it at the moment. But yeah, I love bikes that have a lot of real estate for things on the handlebar. I think I like these handlebar styles better because usually there's a lot of room to put accessories like a phone holder. And I mean, on this one, you don't even need the phone holder because that's actually what this is for. You put your cell phone right here. There used to be a little rubber thing in here, but it came out from getting wet so many times. But yeah, these are bikes that have been used and abused. This is like an honest review of probably what a normal person would do with these bikes. I mean, somebody in my situation, and I feel like that's the kind of people I really want to cater to with this video, is like people that like are kind of on the poorer side. They're not really like into e-bikes because they like riding them. They're kind of into them because they need it as their vehicle. And I'm gonna tell you honestly, these are good vehicles. If I could have a car, I would. But like at the same time, I think about it all the time. I'm like, would I use the car a lot? And I think the honest answer is no, I wouldn't. If I could use the bike, I'd use the bike, because you have to pay car insurance, you have to pay gas, and all this other crud. And that's why I'm able to buy so many die-cast cars and things every month. I mean, I'm not going to tell you guys how much we have every month after paying everything, even if we paid the whole rent on this house, even when I used to pay rent at my apartment and everything. But like, it is not a normal amount someone with one job should have, if that makes sense. Like, I highly recommend, if you're on the poorer side and you don't live far from work, get an e-bike. It is going to save you so much money. You like video gaming? Get an e-bike. You'll be able to get more video games. You like collecting Hot Wheels? Get an e-bike. You'll be able to get more Hot Wheels. I mean, these things are amazing machines, and I'm so happy they were made, because if they weren't, I wouldn't have a way of getting around. I hate mopeds. I think mopeds are the worst piece of garbage ever created. That they break down so much, and then they cost like $300 to fix again, and they do not last very long before they break down. Like 50cc mopeds are trash, and I'm angry I ever even bought two of them, and I still have them, and I hate those things. I do not like them. But I do have a license for them. I intend on keeping it in case they ever smack a license on these, because I heard they may start considering these high performance e-bikes mopeds, but that's fine if they do, because I have a moped license, so I'll be good. But yeah, the Runner, I would say the Runner is not a bad bike to start with for your first e-bike. I also want to say the Lectric XP 3.0, I have not owned that bike, keep in mind, but it does not seem like it would be a bad first e-bike, and I see a lot of people with those type e-bikes. I've only ever seen one other person with a Runner, and it was not a plus. Keep in mind, I have rode my bikes to another state. I've gone on 100-mile rides with my bikes, and this is like the stuff I've seen. I see so many Lectric XP e-bikes. people like those. They must be good bikes. I want to get one day. Lectric, if you'd like to send me an XP, I would gladly accept it, because I do like the trike, and I've heard you can get those XPs to go pretty fast. Also, another thing I want to let you know about this bike. When you get these bikes, the settings for the tires, even on this one, are not correct. The settings for the tires, they're not at the correct tire size. When I messed with the settings on this bike, it thought it had a 22 or a 21 or something like that tire, but it actually is a 20.3 or 20.4 on it. And since I set it to that, I get a very accurate speed reading. So I get this bike to go 22 as the top speed for this guy. And this one goes about 18 or 20. Keep in mind, this guy has been through a lot. This guy has moved me 3 times, and I've connected 2 trailers to it. It's pulled a go-kart, it's pulled a 4-wheeler. This thing is a workhorse, and it is not showing any signs of dying anytime soon. The only thing I hear is like a grinding on it, but that is because like the sprocket back there is like so rusted, it's not even funny. It probably can't even be used as a pedal anymore, honestly. But yeah, this bike, I've had this bike, I want to say for 5 years, and it's got, how many miles has this baby got on it? They're all juiced up right now too. Oh wow, I guess, oh no, it's up there on the top. I thought it was down here. Yeah, this guy has 6,628 miles on it. And it has pulled so many different things. Like, it's crazy. This guy here actually is not accurate, because at one point when this hit 3,000, I think it reset for some reason. I don't know why it did that, but this should almost have 5,000 on it. That bike doesn't actually keep a total. I would say that bike probably has about 2,500 on it, maybe. That has about, I'd say maybe 20 or 30 at the moment. I think it actually does say on this one. Yeah, 38 miles. I thought it'd be 30 something. I haven't ridden it too much. My wife's kind of scared of it because she got it, because I wanted my wife to get a bike that is like a good one, because all the bikes that my wife fit on, because she's very short, they don't have screens usually. Like, my wife is at a Swagatron EB5. I've also had one. That is not a bad starter e-bike if you want a small e-bike. The Swagatron EB5 is actually a fun little get around town bike. If you have a lot of bumps, I wouldn't suggest it because it doesn't have suspension. But if you don't, the Swagatron EB5 is a blast. It is a fun little bike. This little Jetson's a fun bike too. I bought this when I lived at my apartment from my upstairs neighbor for $50 because he got electric XP and he didn't have room for this, and I got this for $50. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll get an e-bike for $50. I mean, I don't know if you consider this an e-bike. I'd more consider this an e-scooter. This I got at a yard sale for $150. It was like off of one of those Amazon shipping pallets. There's a time when you want to drive one of these, and there's a time when you don't. I would say when it's wet, don't really drive this. I have driven it when it's wet. But the funnest time to drive this bike, or one of these scooters, is on a nice day. And you can do something I like to call nitro, not shifting, what do I call it? Nitro leaning. So what you do is you get on it and you just keep turning the wheel like this, and you lean. You lean into each turn, and this thing will get past its speed. It's not supposed to go that fast. But you can do nitro leaning with this. I don't know if they all can do it, but this one can. And it is a fun thing to do nitro leaning with. I love nitro leaning. I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's what I call it. But also, another thing you can do with these too, specifically this bike, you can also lean this bike when it's dying, and you can get like 3 more miles out of it by leaning it if you don't have to stop. Because I was on like flat ground and I leaned this thing for like 3 miles. It was dead and it coasted for 3 miles because me and my wife were just leaning back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We got it to lean for 3 miles when we took it to Indiana. I live in Michigan, mind you. I used to live in Three Rivers, Michigan. I'm not going to say where in Michigan I live now, but I do still live in Michigan. Way farther away from Indiana. I don't even think I can reach Indiana anymore. But yeah, this is not this is not a bad bike. None of these bikes are necessarily bad bikes. The only bike I've ever had that is like a really bad bike is this bike by the name of an Ainshear. I think it was. It was my first e-bike. I got it back when I had a job at American Axle. And it was a fun little bike. But the problem was the spokes on it, just the bumps, because I lived out in the country on a dirt road and stuff, and the bumps just destroyed my rim. Keep in mind, I did have my wife on the back fit on a bike rack that was connected to the seat, which I bent the seat post. I did not know bikes like that existed at the time, or I would have probably gotten that. I don't know if that actually did exist, though. I don't think it actually did, because I think that was in 2019 or late 18, I think, or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, these are all really cool machines. I ride them frequently. They all still run perfectly. The only one that doesn't, like I said, is my Ainshear. I bought that brand new. That was junk. It broke on me within like 3 months of owning it. But again, I don't know, because I rode my wife on it, so I can't really give you an accurate thing of that. But I do know I did drive it by myself a little bit, and I hit a few bumps, and it just destroyed it, man. Spokes were breaking like crazy, and I was like, oh, okay, this thing is not very good. So if you live in an area where there's a lot of like really bad potholes and stuff, I would kind of suggest you get a bike like this that has the titanium wheels. I'm sure there's other e-bikes out there that have titanium wheels like that aren't this one, so you probably have other options. I would hope so, because like I said, I love that bike, but I also hate that bike, you know. I don't know, man. But yeah, that bike's kind of had a problem ever since I've had it. Like when you accelerate, it like jitters and stuff, and like when it hits hills, it slows down. Like when it hits hills, it slows down. And I know like they're supposed to slow down, but it like engages the governor and like cuts half its speed off. I can feel it do it, and I'm like, why would you cut like energy when you know you're about to go up a hill? Like, why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. I almost think they might have did that on purpose, because it'll destroy that motor less, because the Hemingway I had did not give it all on hills. It went. And maybe that's why they have it do that, so it doesn't destroy the motor. That could be why. I'm not sure on that. But yeah, again, I'm supposed to be talking about this bike. I'm going back to the other ones, but like I said, I just want to make a really long video talking about my e-bikes, my experiences with them, which ones I like, which ones I don't. But I've owned a lot of different e-bikes. I really have. Not all of them have ran, mind you, but I've owned a lot of them. And I don't ever really see myself getting rid of any of these guys unless they break. Like the motors are shot on them, I'm probably done. I would one day like to get my Hemingway up and running again, because it is a pretty cool bike. I think one day I might buy another like hub motor for it off of like Wish or something, or AliExpress or Temu or something, and probably put a new motor in it, because it's really all it needs. It still runs fine, the battery's fine. And also, I'm not going to tell you should do this, but I have left my e-bikes before I left a couple of them for like 2 years without driving them, and the battery was in a cold place, because in one of my places I had no heat, and when in the wintertime you walked in the living room, you could literally see your breath, and that's where the bikes were parked. And that bike sat for 2 years not driven, and I charged it up like earlier last year, and it ran fine. It still had the range it did and everything, and it's like called a Green Go or something. It's a weird moped looking one, and the only reason I'm not showing you that one is because I don't even think you can get that one anymore. You can still get, I think, Rad Wagons. I think there's a Rad Wagon 5. I think there's a Rad Runner 3 now plus. I believe you can still get the Unirail Flash. I know you can get that, because I literally just bought that. My wife bought it 2.5 weeks ago now. And I'm pretty sure you can get these at like Best Buy or something. Best Buy actually does sell Segways and scooters. I was really surprised when I went in there. My wife got her computer. I was really surprised about that. But And I'm not sure where you can get Jetsons. I'd say probably online. Well, let me just take a little drive real quick, too, with these. And you guys might be like, why don't you get a motorcycle? Well, I can't get a car license, and unfortunately this country makes you get a car license before you can get a motorcycle license, and I think that's bull crap, because I can't drive a car, but I could drive a motorcycle perfectly. All right, let's see here. I'll do it one-handed for you guys real quick. Let's see, I can get it going. Can I get it going? Yeah, I got it. One-handed. See, it's not a bad little bike. It's a little zippy thing. Now, I can't speak for if the tires pop on this or anything, like how hard it is to change that or anything. I can't really speak on any of that because I've never had to change the tires on this one or the scooter, thank goodness, because I don't think I'd be able to do it. I have had to change the tire on my EB5. After changing it, it did not like pedal right anymore. I think it has to be set like at a certain place to pedal correctly. It started like pedaling itself while it was driving, which can be a problem. And also, I do this, but you should not. Do not drive your e-bikes without chains, because if you forget that you have it in a pass mode and someone bumps that, your e-bike's going without you on it. Because I had an e-bike one time, my Ecotric Sport Cool. It went across the Walmart parking lot. I could do nothing about it. The wind came up, it blew my pedal. I just started it. I was getting ready to put my stuff in my backpack and jump on the bike, and the wind came up and my Ecotric Sport Cool flew across the parking lot like a torpedo. It didn't hit anything besides a curb, and then it jumped up in the air. It didn't do any damage to the bike besides scratch it on the side. But don't ride them without chains. It's not a good idea. I mean, these bikes are kind of cool because you can actually turn off the pass and still have the throttles work. This one does not work that way, but my pass sensor on this one's broken, and I'm not gonna fix it until it. That's another thing too. I gotta be honest with you about too. All the problems this thing had, like the charger overheated, almost made the thing catch on fire. The pass sensors messed up. I think the computer was messed up. I got a new computer and it didn't fix the problem with it like accelerating funny, if that makes sense. But this does not accelerate smoothly. It has like a really like jittery acceleration, if that makes sense. Like this one accelerates like butter. That it accelerates like it's on glass or something. I don't know how to explain what it does, but yeah, you can see like I am a trustworthy person when I talk about e-bikes. I wish e-bike companies would let me review their bikes because I love e-bikes. If it was not for e-bikes, I would not be in a good place in my life. I'm already not. I'm not going to get into all that, but I wouldn't be in a good place at all if it weren't for e-bikes, because they have opened up my world to being able to do things like a normal adult. And I don't really consider myself a normal adult because I'm not getting into all that, but it's just like because I can't get a job is mainly the reason. But I won't get into it any more than that. And my diabetes and stuff, and I talk about that sometimes in other videos on here. My diabetes is just horrible. I died in the hospital and came back to life, and it messed me up. I had a DKA. Crazy thing. You're not supposed to live from it, but I did. But just I would say the best type of e-bike here, that's a hard one because that is fast. It's good for getting around quickly. The truck is really only if you need, because the truck and the runner are a lot similar. They both have like the same speed. They both accelerate the same. They both kind of feel the same when driving them, if that makes sense. Like not like turning them and stuff. Like this one's weird. It actually has like a spring in there to spring back the thing after you turn it and stuff. Like, but like I just mean these two feel a lot of the same. It makes sense because they're both by Rad, but they feel like they're almost the same bike, but they're like not, because like one is way bigger than the other. But this thing can haul a trailer. That can definitely haul a trailer. I don't know about this because someone stole my hitch off of this one, so I don't even have a hitch anymore. Someone literally just stole my hitch. Well, I went to a Myers in an area I'd never been to before. I parked my bike outside, locked it to a pole. I came back out, and I was like, dude, where's my hitch? And they were nice enough to put the bolt back on my tire quite tightly too, but they took my hitch that I custom made for a bike trailer. They just took it off my bike. I don't know why. And it's not like it fell off or it snapped or anything, because the bolt wasn't even sticking out at all. Like the thread wasn't sticking out of the bolt at all. And then I come outside, it was sticking out a little bit. I was like, what happened? I looked, I was like, oh my God, my trailer hitch is gone. Someone stole my trailer hitch. And they stole it off of this one too. I wish I had two of them, because then I'd have at least one. Kind of sucks not having a trailer. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like weaker without a trailer. I don't know how to explain that. But if you're wondering what this is right here, let me kind of explain some more stuff about some of the weirder stuff on the bikes. I used to think that this couldn't get wet, so I bought like a furniture cover and bungee cord this. I really need to take this off because it's okay. Brad literally told me it's okay. I don't need to cover this. They literally told me that. And let me get into some problems these bikes have had. Like I said, that one had an electrical problem where it deleted all of its miles for some reason. Other than that, it's been good. This one here, the computer went out at one point or something, or the wire to the back tail light went out. But Rad was really good about it. They sent me a brand new controller, and it was pretty easy to do and get back in there. And I found out I didn't even need it, so I have two controllers for this bike. I have the other one still. But they gave me a new wire for my tail light wire harness, and my tail light just needed a new wire harness instead of a computer. But they gave me a computer before they gave me the wire harness, so that was pretty cool of them. But yeah, that's the technical issues. This one's had, that one's had, and that's had a little bit more technical issues. No technical issues with this. These do have cruise control though. I did not mention that yet. If you do this long enough on this one, oh, it's still on, I forgot to turn it off. If you do this long enough on this one, it will go into a cruise control. You know what, why don't I just show you right now while it's, okay, see right now, see how my hand's like this? All right, see the tire, it's like that. You can see it right now, it's spinning, it's spinning, it's spinning, it's spinning, it's spinning. Now I'm gonna let off. Look, it's still going. See, I let off, it's still going. Well, it was. But yeah, this guy has a cruise control. I want to see if I can get it to, I don't think it activated yet. You have to hold it down for quite a minute. The scooter will actually beep at you once it engages the cruise control. This doesn't. This is like the bare bones e-bike you can have. It's not a bad e-bike though. It's really not. I think it's engaged now. Yep, it is. Now it's in cruise control. See? It's spinning, it's spinning. I do not have the throttle going at all. You see right there, see? No throttle. It's just going. See? No throttle. It's just going. It has a cruise control, and if you hit the brake, it will stop. But what I like to do with my... Oh, yeah, it also has lights. I forgot to mention that. As small as this guy is, he does have lights. It has a little tail light and a little headlight, which is actually kind of cool. I do like that about this guy. And this one here also has a headlight right here, and it has a tail light on the back. But yeah, this one also does cruise control. So I'll turn this one on. I think it's... I forgot how to turn this thing on. It's been a little bit since I've driven it. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's on L1 and you can go into L2. I haven't charged it in a while, so it's pretty dead. But yeah, it goes like this. And it does have a thumb throttle. Oh yeah, another thing about this is you actually have to push it forward before it will engage. You have to actually like push it forward like a scooter. It's not doing it. I think I actually have to get on it. I hope I don't crash. I'll try for you guys. All right, let me see. I'm gonna get on it and try. Oh, I don't think I moved it enough. There we go, now it's going. See, here it goes. Woo. It does have rubber tires. It can go off-road. I really should not be doing this one. Nope, it just deactivated. I can't do this one-handed, guys. Just take my word for it. It does do what I'm saying. It does have a cruise control like that. Like, it'll beep at you when it does the cruise control. But, yeah. I would say if you want if you have a partner or a friend you got to take around with you, I would get that bike. I'd get a bike in that style. There's also another e-bike company I've been looking at. It's called Happy Run. I'm thinking about getting an e-bike from them. I'm thinking about getting an Aventon eventually. But right now I'm working on getting a Q Runner mobility scooter car thing. It's like $6,000, so it's not going to be easy to get. Hopefully taxes give my wife a pretty good amount of money because she wants it too. Because it's got a heater and a radio and everything. It's going to be really nice if we can have that. I've even considered selling all my e-bikes to get, like, I don't know, I feel like all these right here would be worth about maybe $4,000. Especially those ones, because I paid $2,000 for these, all these ones a piece pretty much. Were like, well, not that one was $15,000. But that was like $2,000. I think that was $1,700. That was $2,100. That was $50,000, but it's worth like $4,000. And this was $150,000, but I think it's worth like $8,000 or $6,000 or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm probably just trying to get more value out of it because, like, I really would like to have that car, and it's probably not worth selling my bikes because I do like my bikes, and the car isn't going to be able to go nearly as far as the bikes. I just want the car to take my wife back and forth to work. I don't plan on going far with it at all. I'm sticking to my far distances for these guys, for these three right here. These are my 3 long distance bikes. The truck, not so much these days. Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention that too. I'm sorry. This had a recall on the tires and stuff. I guess Rad designed these bad or something. So I had to buy a motorcycle tire for this. And let me see if I can give you the size on this in case you have one of these. Because it took me a while to figure out what to do with this. And if I can help somebody else, I'd love to help somebody else with their e-bike. Because this is a really fun bike. And when it's not running, it sucks. I used to have an air horn on this bike too. I took it off because it was out of commission for like almost a year and a half. Because it had the tire issue. But, oh man, where's the size at on this guy? Is that what you need right there? I think that might be what you need right here. Let me see. Is that what you need? I think that might be the tire size. Oh, no, it's right here. It's right here. Hold on. My bad. Go backwards. There we go. It's right there. That is the tire size you need right there. In a motorcycle tire. Keep in mind it's a motorcycle tire. And you can fix your Radwagon 4. I don't know. Maybe the new Radwagon 5 uses the same tires. I don't know. I haven't really looked into that bike. But, because I like my truck. I don't really need another one. This one's perfect. I don't need another one. This guy's good. It's been good to me. It's been through a lot. And I love it. I really do. But, yeah, I guess the kind of e-bike for you really depends on where you live. If you live in a city, I would say maybe get one of the small ones. Like, if you live in an area that's got, like, trails, you don't got to go very far. I think the EB5s can get 10 miles out of them. That's on full throttle too, because I used to live like 5 miles away from my wife's work, and I used to drive it from out in the country on some pretty bad roads, and it would make it. Now my wife, since she was smaller, she could get away with getting 15 or 16 or even 20 out of her EB5, and that's on one battery. Keep in mind too, the batteries for the EB5s I think are like $200 or $150. Another battery for these I think is like $5. For that, it could be either 8 or 7. For this, I haven't looked into this one yet. But I think, actually no, I think I did. I think it was like $400 for one for that. I have no idea how to even replace the battery in that. I don't even know if you can take it out. I also don't know about that. I kind of doubt it, considering the charger port is underneath it. That's where the charger port is for this guy. But, yeah. But I know the charger port's underneath the EB5s too, and they do fold, and you can slide the batteries out of them. But, yeah, I would say if you have a partner, I would get a bike like this. Someone that's going to be riding around with you, I'd get a bike like this. If you have kids you got to bring with you or something, I would get a bike like this because this does have like a car seat attachment. if you want something for just yourself that's going to go fast to get you where you want to go fast, I'd go with a bike like this, like a performance e-bike. But they do make 2-seater performance e-bikes, but keep in mind this probably will not last you as long as something like this. This is probably going to last you maybe, if you're lucky, 2 or 3 years, because I think my Hemingway lasted me about 3 years. I didn't drive it constantly though, so keep that in mind. And then this, I can't really tell you too much about this guy. I've only had it for like a couple weeks and a half, so I can't really tell you too much about that one. But so far, it's so good. It's a pretty good bike. I found out why the weight limit in the back is why it is, because the spokes are very weak. My wife sat back here while I drove it, and I hit a big bump, and I already messed up one of the spokes in there. That was my bad. I'm not faulting electric for that whatsoever. That was my fault. Because we wanted to get that, because there's a enclosure for it and stuff, and we wanted to get that so we could use that in the wintertime. That's if we can't get our Q runner. If we can get our Q runner, we're going to get that and forget the making that enclosed, because the Q runner would be the best thing for us. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed checking these out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to tell you guys. If you're wondering what that is in the tires, that's just duct tape on the spokes. Same for that one, but that's a different style. You just figure out different styles with the amount of spokes you have. It's pretty simple to do. It only costs about, at the most, $10 to do on a rim. So that's both rims. Roll of duct tape, even, or if you want to buy cheaper duct tape at like Dollar Tree, you can do that too. Also, I highly recommend everybody, if you're going to drive your e-bike as a vehicle, get some kind of rear view mirror on this side. My mirror has gotten me out of so many situations, it's not even funny. Just get some kind of mirror on it. Even that, I need to get a mirrors for these guys eventually too. But yeah, these are cool bikes. If you guys want me to, I will show you the moped style one eventually. It's in my shed right now and it's buried in the back, so I don't really feel like digging it out at the moment. My wife has also owned a Swagatron EB8, I think, or EB9. I owned a 7 and I bought it from some guy in Three Rivers that sold it to me and said it worked, and then he ripped me off $400. I hate that town. Cops there are trash too. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be saying that, but they are. They picked on me for riding my bikes all the time. They're not nice. Cops where I live now are very nice. They like my bikes. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed checking these out. If you have any questions about any of these, let me know. I will tell you an honest answer. I'm not trying to lie here. I'm not trying to sell e-bikes. I'm not endorsed by these companies in any way. I wish an e-bike company would endorse me, because I obviously love e-bikes. I'm like their demographic. I use it as my car. I think I only ride in a car about 25 times a year. That's how much I ride in a car, maybe. And it's not even a car that's mine, because I can't drive. I fall asleep behind the wheel. I don't on two-wheeled things, but in a car, I fall asleep. I hope I don't have that problem with my Q runner, but I don't think I will, because it has handlebars, and handlebars for some reason don't make me fall asleep. I don't know what it is about them, but yeah. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed checking these out. Seriously, if you have any questions, ask me, because I'm very experienced with these things. I might even be able to help you with a technical issue with them. I will tell you right now, if you have a rad bike and it's not starting or charging, and if you already threw out the battery, I feel kind of sorry for you. There's a fuse in those batteries, and sometimes that fuse can go out and it can make you think your battery's shot, or even your whole bike. But actually, it's just a little fuse in that battery, and it's like a little, I think like a $5 bag of them at like AutoZone or O'Reilly Auto Parts, and you can fix it right up. Like, these things are not hard to maintain and keep going. Like, you can see mine don't even have chains. They all still drive. They all do. All these ones that are sitting here, they drive perfectly. They don't work perfectly, keep in mind, because like I said, I would live in a place where I wasn't allowed to oil them and take care of them properly, and that's my bad. But like, I don't see any reason why that makes these things any worse. I still like them. They still do what I intended them to do. I didn't really buy these to use them as bicycles. I use them more like mopeds. I throttle them all the time, and I know some people say you shouldn't do that. I honestly don't see any reason why you shouldn't. I've not noticed them taking any more damage because of it or anything. I would say it is a good idea to have your pedals, and I would at least maybe help it get going from a full stop. That is probably a good thing to do. But that'll probably prolong the life of your motor. But yeah, I use these as my cars, so I'm a very e-bike friendly guy. So like, if you need to know anything, you want to ask me what e-bike you should get, I'm not going to try to sell you some expensive one like maybe some other YouTube channels or people that review them. I'm not going to be like, oh, get this super expensive one. I'm going to try to look for you the cheapest e-bike that I can find and tell you like, hey, get this one. Like I really recommend anyone, if you want a first e-bike, Swagotron EB5s are pretty good little bikes. They are. I was also looking at a new Schwinn one they sell at Target for like $500, which is like just another $150 over the Swagotron. I'm thinking about getting one of those, so I might be able to tell you guys more about that eventually, because it is a two-seater if you're small. But yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed checking this out, and I'm really going to go now because I got to get these guys put inside and go pick up my wife from work with the blue one. She chose to be picked up on the blue one tonight because I just fixed that one yesterday and put a new tube on the front of it because I had a flat with that one and I switched the tube. All three of these guys use the same size tube, I think. Let me make sure of that. I think this guy uses the same size tube. Is a 20... No, this is a 20.260. These are 20.3 threes. That one might be a bit bigger, but that's what tube they have in them. 20.3, 20.3. That's what these have in them. And I don't know. That probably might have a 20.3 too. I don't know. This is a 22 4.0, I think, or just a 22. It's a very weird size. That's why it took me so long to get this thing back on the road after it broke. But yeah, they're really good vehicles. I sometimes my wife's family gets jealous of us because they're always talking about fixing their cars and stuff when they break, and they're like, oh, I bet you have to fix stuff on your bikes all the time. I'm like, no, not really. They kind of just go. Like, they're very reliable. You don't have to put like any money into them. I guess if you want to take them to a bike shop and have them looked at, because bike shops will work on this one. They will not touch that one. They will work on the trike from what I was told, but I already have an appointment set up to get this one's chain done, the brakes, everything all brand new on this for like $250. They're going to repair it all like new and even put a better shifter on it for me. So I agreed to it and set up an appointment for this guy to get fixed within the next 5 months. So, yeah. I'll probably come back with an update video too when that's fixed and let you know if it was any better. I'm also thinking, since the warranty is done on this bike, I might mess around with it and see if I can get it to go a little bit faster, because this bike is only 6 miles per hour off the speed limit of him. It can hit that, and that's like going up a hill. This thing loses speed when it goes up a hill bad. This does not. That wouldn't if it had the pedals, to be fair, but like, again, Unirail, the derailleur sucks. I'm sorry, I'm never going to let that go. I can't believe they wouldn't replace that under warranty. There's no way that part is $50. I went to an expensive bike shop and they could have sold me another one for $20. Dude, then they said, oh, it's because of the shipping. Yeah, $50 for shipping a small thing like that's kind of ridiculous. I've had Hot Wheels ship. It usually only comes from Las Vegas. I did notice when they sent me the parts this time it came from China, but still $50 for that that's kind of ridiculous. It wasn't even a battery or anything like that. I buy cars and stuff all the time, and the shipping is usually only $2 or $3. I mean, that's nuts if it's $50. But yeah. All right, I'm seriously gonna go now because I gotta get these put inside and get ready to go pick up my wife with the runner. Literally though, if you have any questions, please ask. I love helping people with these things. I love e-bikes. I'm so happy they exist. And I'm gonna get out of here. For real now. Bye.